There's some evidence to believe that Lil Cam is the person who was in the yellow hoodie in one of the videos that TMZ managed to come up with. Multiple insults posts on his social media showed that he wasn't a big fan, man. These guys around you, I don't trust. They had guns all on their seat. What's good, RIZZLE fam? You know, ever since Takeoff's untimely death, the stuff that has been circling around the internet just ain't been right. From wild conspiracy theories to the blame games, the internet's been in chaos. And now it looks like the alleged shooter, Lil Cam, had the nerve to clown Quavo after Takeoff's death. You probably know by now, one of the legendary trio Migos ain't with us no more. Sadly, Takeoff was involved in an accident that took place in the night between the 31st of October and the 1st of November, which resulted in the loss of his life. Quavo and Takeoff both attended an after party at a bowling arena in Houston, Texas. All the problems arose once they actually left the spot and stood in front of the arena where an altercation happened. Quavo had a verbal argument with the person who had not been identified yet. A crowd of people formed in front of the bowling arena where words were getting tossed around. The leaked video shows clearly that Quavo did have a quarrel with someone, but he tried to walk away from it. It wasn't until he moved away from the person that guns went off. But as soon as he turned his back to the unknown dude, someone in the crowd opened fire, and the opposing party fired back as well. In the heat of the moment, there were bullets flying all over the place, and 3 people got shot. 2 people, a woman and a man, were hospitalized and made it out without injuries. Takeoff, however, wasn't that lucky. He was probably hit with one of the first bullets that were fired. Unfortunately, he got shot in the head. As soon as he got shot, he fell to the floor and lost consciousness. Quavo quickly came over to him, but there was very little to be done. Not even a nurse who was there and heard Quavo begging for help couldn't do much to help. Takeoff had died in their hands, and the police pronounced him dead just moments after they arrived at the spot. Devastated family, friends, and fans gathered at Atlanta State Farm Arena. 21,000 people gathered in order to celebrate Takeoff's life. Cardi B, Offset, Quavo, Justin Bieber, Drake, and many more paid their homage and held speeches in his name. Even though he didn't usher anything on social media since his nephew passed, Quavo finally left a lengthy message for Takeoff on his Instagram account just a few days ago. A lot was said in there, but this is how he started the note. "It's so hard to tell you I'ma miss you because you always with me and we did everything together. Since we were kids, you've been by my side looking up at me, and my eyes waiting for me to make the next move. Then you followed up right behind me. You always made sure I did first so you could do it right with me." He also posted a collage of photos of him and Takeoff. The photos range from when they were kids all the way up to the latest album drop, only built for infinity links. Takeoff is no longer with us, but the mystery of his death still remains. The entire picture is still somewhat puzzling. No one is quite sure how things went down that awful night. What we can tell is that there were a few suspects. They haven't been taken in by police for questioning or anything like that. Rather, these are just speculations about who might have been involved. Again, speculations. If you watch the video of the shooting, then you know very well that there's more than one shooter. The people who are suspicious at this time are 2 guys who go by the names of Migos Bands and Lil Cam. There's some evidence to believe that Lil Cam is the person who was in the yellow hoodie in one of the videos that TMZ managed to come up with. Rumor has it that Lil Cam was one responsible for taking Takeoff's life and that he was the one who pulled the trigger first. Now, it's not certain yet if that's true. Only time's gonna show whether or not that is true. However, he's high on the suspects list, and his Twitter account is too. Just take a look at some of these tweets he made after the incident. "The impossible. I did that the other day. Ain't into the clout, but I stay going viral." And at one point, he sounds like he's bragging about the fact that he did something, quote, impossible. Now, he didn't state it directly, but everyone knows what he's hinting at. But that's not all the clowning that Lil Cam did to make it even more bizarre. He says that he's not into the clout, yet he's posting all these tweets. It makes no damn sense, man. However, this tweet is what got the most attention of anything that he put online. He wrote, "Most of that cap, can't go for that you say, is facts, prove it." Why in the world would he put that up on the internet for everyone to see just days after Takeoff passed, knowing that he's in the scope of a lot of people? He's pretty much admitting that he did it, but there's no real evidence for his crime. That's not all though. An Instagram conversation he made its way to the internet a couple of days ago, and it seems like Quavo and Takeoff knew about the Lil Cam threat long before anything happened. It's no secret that Lil Cam hated the Migos and envied their fame and respect. Multiple insults posts on his social media show that. He wasn't a big fan, man. But Takeoff and a lady who was with him that night talked about the possibility of Lil Cam doing something that could hurt them. The girl who was seeing Takeoff said, "These guys around you, I don't trust. They had guns all on their seat." Then later in the conversation, she also said, "Wow, are you all right? Why is your friend and Quavo arguing so loud? Is everything okay?" A number of other messages that the two exchanged clearly showed showed that the girls sensed something was wrong about the guy who Quavo was arguing with during the night. Takeoff was just confident that nothing would happen, but in the end, that was a huge mistake. The reason why he didn't feel threatened was that this was not the first time he was at a party like that. He and Quavo probably attended who knows how many similar parties where words were being tossed around and tension in the room, but given that Quavo was shooting dice and someone was losing money, it's kind of expected. Takeoff tried convincing the lady that everything would be okay and that there wouldn't be any problems, but that never happened. The woman had a hunch, and it turned out in the end that Takeoff and Quavo really should have left the place early, man. People online think that Takeoff should have acted differently too. One comment reads, "If this is real, she had his back for real. She was vigilant and letting him know what his security should have been seeing and acting on." Another person wrote, "Takeoff seems like a gentleman, so the messages from Takeoff was simply to calm her and keep her in the mood, no stressing, but inside, he probably was feeling the vibe too." Then again, there are those who doubt that these messages are even real, given the fact that they come from an unknown source and may just be capped. I'm not convinced these messages are real. You can fake anything these days. RIP Takeoff. You might be thinking to yourself these messages are fake. Some people are not buying this story at all. However, given all the intricate details that the women revealed that are in accordance to the story as we know it, she may have well been there, and chat could be real. What we know for a fact is that Lil Cam should have known better to post anything online at all. Guilty or not, he should have kept his mouth shut. One person wrote, "Worst thing he could do is take to social media and say anything so the whole world can see. It's in his best interest to keep quiet and speak with a lawyer. Very tragic that Takeoff lost his life over some BS. Prayers and condolences to his loved ones. The current state of hip-hop industry is just plain old ridiculous. With all the losses that we've taken this year, you can't say that he's not right. PNB Rock, Lil Key, Trouble, and now Take. Something needs to change in the hip-hop world, man. There's just too much senseless violence and people can't take it anymore. We hope times that lay ahead bring us more positive vibes." Thanks again for watching to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, be sure to click like and subscribe. Check out this next video, and as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.